Hi, this is Alan with Alan's Firearms and Guns Plus More. And today we have the M&P9 and a Tangelo. Now, what do they have in common? Absolutely nothing. But I really like Tangelos. As far as the M&P9, this is the Sub Compact, and I took this out on a shoot, which you'll get to see as soon as I'm done talking about this a little bit. This is a well-made gun. I had no problems with it. I mean, I only shot a few magazines, but I had no problems with it, no jams, no issues with this whatsoever. But it has one hell of a recoil. I shot this, and I'll tell you, it's a compact. It's meant for up close and personal, but I think it's a bit heavy for that. I mean, you don't need a double stack magazine for a self-defense gun. So the con is it's heavy for a small gun. The plus side is you have plenty of ammo for those very, very, very few times that you really need it. Another thing I did not like was loading these magazines. They gave me two 10-round magazines. The first one was so difficult to load. By the time I got to the second one, my thumbs were both shot. I only got 9 rounds in the other magazine because I couldn't get that last round in. And this isn't difficult after you get a few rounds in. This is difficult from round one. There's something with this follower that it doesn't push down when you're trying to load it with regular ammo. I had to take a .308 cartridge case that I had in my bag and press down the back of it like it was a speed loader. If you like Smith Wesson and this is the gun that you want to have, get yourself a good speed loader. Otherwise, you're going to be cramping more than shooting. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to go straight out to the shoot. I'll show you the shoot. It's short. Then we'll come back. We'll field strip it, clean it, lubricate it, and put it back together again. Okay, here I'm at the field with the M&P 9mm Smith & Wesson. I want to tell you something. I just loaded 2 mags, and this thing, the mags, they absolutely suck. It was, my thumbs on both fingers are killing me. 10 rounds in one mag, which is a full mag, and I think 8 rounds, 7 or 8 in the other, because I couldn't finish loading it. You need a loader to load that mag, especially the first round. The way they made the follower, very, very difficult to load around. Spring is way, way too heavy for that magazine. And if they really need a heavy spring like that, I don't know. It was very difficult for me to load. If you need to load a magazine fast on the fly, forget it. Ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna go shoot this thing, and let's see how we do with it. You gotta really hit that mag to get it up in there. Right? This is the first mag, and this is the second mag I loaded, so this has less rounds in it. And put it back together again. Okay, so here we are at the workbench with the M&P9 9mm. This is how it's packaged. Extra back strap. You have 2 magazines. Both of them are 10 round magazines. One has a flat bottom, or one has a pink extension bottom on it. We're going to clean both of these mags because we use them both. But I'm only going to show you one. It would have been a good idea to take the gun out. Okay. Like I said before, we have to sometimes make hard choices. I've made mine. As far as anyone who has this gun, hey, it shoots great. I mean, it's flawless. It doesn't jam. I had an easy time shooting it, though the recoil on it is extremely substantial. You really feel it, because it's such a short barrel and the way the gun is designed. The magazines were bears to load. I couldn't get the first round in here properly. I don't know if there's some secret to it or not, but getting the first round in was as hard as getting the 10th round in. It was unbelievable. I really had a problem with these magazines. The second mag, by the time I got through with it, I couldn't get the full 10 in because my hands are so sore from trying to load it. The ups, it's kind of heavy, especially loaded. The downside is for a small gun, it's a big gun. It's wide, it's heavy because it's double stacked. The upside is you have a lot of ammunition and the gun fires flawlessly. And it's easy to take down. You have to decide what your priorities are. And that doesn't mean buying this gun is wrong. It just means for some people, what's important to them, they don't care how heavy the gun is. They can handle it. It's a matter of firepower and the confidence that the gun will go bang every time they shoot it. So I don't think you have a problem with confidence with this gun. It's just a matter of some people, it's just going to be too heavy to use. Okay, so how do we clean this puppy? Oh, you want to see its sight picture? Sight picture is not bad on this gun. There we go. So there's the sight picture. It's 3 dots, and it was easy for me to sight with it. I shot a little low with it, but that was probably me. I had a bunch of guns out there today, so I was going through them, and I kept having to change my grip between the semi-autos and the revolvers. So, okay, very simple to take this firearm apart. You're going to bring the slide back first. Let's make sure there's no magazine in it. We're going to make sure it's empty. Look down the chamber and look down the magazine well. You have to look down in it. Don't trust pulling this back ejects around. I have been shot at it a few times with empty guns after someone has gone like that and then pulled the trigger and it goes bang. This does have a safety on it for the magazine. See, that time it went click, but when you have the magazine out, no click. So it has a magazine safety in it, 3 dot sights. It's got a ambidextrous slide release, which happens to be a really nice feature. And I would say from the looks of this, you can reverse the magazine release to be ambidextrous too. So that's a nice feature, that it's totally an ambidextrous gun. So in order to take it apart, you have to lock back the magazine. Now you could pull it back and manually push this up, or if you have a problem with dexterity, put an empty mag in, pull it back, it will lock, dump the mag, and then that makes it easier for most of us. Pull this switch down, this switch right here, just pull it down. It goes down and forward. And then we can release the slide, and you have to pull the trigger. And since we can't, so once you get this back like this is the issue. You have to put a magazine in, release it, and then pull the trigger. Because you have to pull the trigger to take that off. After you pull the trigger, you can take the magazine out, and then it'll slide apart. Another way of doing it is, you see that metal rod in here? You have to pull that up in order to pull the trigger. But how do you do that? I mean, it's silly. You got to put the magazine in. That's the only way to do it. Some of the newest Smiths are coming with a plastic fake mag that you can put in there, so you're not putting in a magazine, or you don't accidentally put in a live magazine. Spring comes out like that. Lift the barrel up, pull it right out, and we're totally dismantled. That's it. That's the field strip. Can't get any easier than that, I don't think. Okay, so I'm going to hit this with some strike hold. I use strike hold as a cleaner. If you use strike hold, then you don't have to oil the firearm afterwards, because this is a cleaner, a lubricant, and a protectant. If you use regular gun cleaner, you have to oil your gun. And at the end of this video, even though I don't have to oil it, I can just put it together, I will show you how to lube it. If you're using, because you may be using regular gun cleaner. Okay, so I'm going to take this, throw that scrap away, And I'm going to go in here like that. And I like using these wood sticks because the wood, I'm going to press down and clean off this little button right there, that silver button. That's your firing pin block. So if your finger isn't really on the trigger and pulling the trigger, that'll stop the firing pin from releasing, or if you drop the gun. Okay, so now I'm getting the big flat parts with my finger that I can get. Now there's a lot of dirt in there, so I'm gonna go over this again. Wow. Okay. I just got this in, so I shot it today, and I had enough time to make a tag for it. But I don't like selling guns until they've been totally cleaned, and I like to fire them and make sure when I'm selling a customer is a really good quality. Now, some stores are just way too big to shoot every gun, and I have a little shop, I can do it. So I'm not saying don't trust someone who doesn't do that. Some people just can't. And most of them are good businessmen who will stand by their product anyway. They usually have an in-house inspection. For a long time, I didn't shoot to test. I did a regular in-house inspection. But since I've been doing these videos, and I try to shoot them all now, as part of my video, I get a chance to test fire each and every gun I sell. Okay, so you saw what I did. I cleaned the battery. You got to make sure you clean the battery and get underneath the extractor. If you don't get underneath the extractor and dirt builds up, you can get around to fail to be extracted. Especially, just say you unload your gun. Okay, you take the loaded magazine out. There's a round in your firearm, and you pull it and to check to make sure it's empty, and you don't actually physically look down your chamber. Your extractor leaves a round in there. Big accident happens. That's why I said always look. And I've been shot at that way. Now, not on purpose, but someone accidentally, they checked the gun. The person that is no longer allowed in my shop, and it went off. Almost shot me. So there's the slide. Now let's get the frame. I'm going to do the same thing. Put it on the stick. I'm going to first get the rails that the slide goes on, because that's metal to metal contact. And look at all the dirt that came out of there. See what I'm talking about? Now the other side. Okay, now I'm just getting all these spots that are hard to get with my finger. And now I'm going to get all this nice and clean. Now this has got a double stack magazine, so there's plenty of room for me to actually get my finger down in here. So that's what I'm going to do. If I couldn't, on guns that are too small, I use one of these and I mop out the inside now. Now with strike hold, I can actually wipe down the polymer with strike hold, but if you're using regular gun cleaner, do not do this. Use soap and water or something else, something that's safe on polymer. If your gun cleaner says safe for use on polymer, then don't worry about it. Okay, the last thing we have to do, let's get we're not done yet. We got to get the spring, and now the barrel. We have to make sure we get, look at all that dirt, wow. We got to make sure we get the ramp top and bottom clean. I'm going to wipe down the whole outside of the barrel. Make sure the locking lugs back here are clean. All over this. Make sure that you got to make sure that ramp is clean. If there's any debris on that ramp, that's why I like these wooden sticks, because I won't mar the metal, but they're good for, I can scrape off this extra piece of carbon that's sitting there that doesn't seem to want to come off with just the cleaner. There we go. So with that, rubbed it a few times, got that carbon off of there, and no way did I mar the gun because I was only using a wooden stick. Make sure I get the chamber good and clean. That looks good. Okay, we're done with the cleaning. So now for oiling. Very simple. So I'm going to put 3 drops of oil on it. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, what I want to clean, especially since I had such a hard time with it, is these magazines. Okay, now I'm going to take this. I bet this thing is so dirty in there. And I'm going to push down that and get underneath there. That magazine is so hard to clean, so hard to push down. I actually just broke my stick trying to push it down to clean it. And that's the first that's ever happened cleaning a mag. Okay, everything is clean, so now 3 drops of oil. 1, 2, 3. With the drops of oil, I'm going to first oil the stuff that needs lubrication. So the slide slots. Do the slide slots because they really need lubrication. I'm going to do the slide rails. Same way I did it with the cleaner, I'm going to do it with the oil. And then I'm just going to wipe down the whole gun everywhere where I touched it with cleaner. I'm going to wipe it down with oil, because that's what you have to do if you use regular cleaner on the gun. Just do exactly what you did. I'm doing it quickly because it really doesn't need it since I use strike hold. Just do what you did when you cleaned it, but now you're just going to do it with oil. And this just goes down the barrel. Turn off the cleaner inside the barrel. Wipe this down. There we go. Get underneath the feeding fingers and wipe down your magazines just like we did with the cleaner. Okay? Now we can put this puppy back together again. I rushed through that because you don't need to sit here watching me do the same thing with oil that I did with cleaner. It's a waste of your time and mine. Okay, so now exactly the opposite. Drop the barrel in, hooks go up. We take the spring, the yellow part goes forward, or if it doesn't have any paint on it, the button goes forward, the big silver part goes back. That goes in, make sure it's centered. Okay, it's in the right slot. Make sure this comes down. If that's not down, you're not going to get this back together again. Slide the rails right on to make sure both rails go onto that, go onto the back. It comes all the way back. And then you push this button forward when that circle is in there. So you can either push this back and lock it open. Once it's locked open, you can flip that forward, or if you can pull this back and with your thumb push it forward, either way is acceptable. Let's check and make sure it works. Magazine lock worked. Magazine release worked. Safety worked. Perfect. And there we have it. So I hope you enjoyed yourself, and now I'm going to go enjoy mine. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and get one of these because they're really tasty.